Hi guys, Donna Phillips here, and I hope that you guys are ready for this thick southern accent. It's a lot, I know, but it is what it is, so here we go. I'm going to be talking today about the professional disposition of learners. And first of all, I would just like to go through the list of what those 10 dispositions are. It's high expectations, respect for diversity of others, fairness, professional conduct, reflection, curiosity, honesty, compassion, advocacy, and dedication. So, with knowing that that is the list of the 10 dispositions, I have to ask myself, what dispositions do I possess that I think will make me a successful teacher? And as much as I would love to just say, oh, I have all of these dispositions and I am just great with all of this, but gonna keep it real here and just say that, yeah, there are some of these that, I most definitely need to work on. But talk about that just a little later. The ones that I know so far, I know I have the compassion and the advocacy and the dedication and the honesty. So that is 4 that I know that I have. And I know that those are going to help. But, that also leaves 6 of those other ones that are going to need some work. And so we move right on into the question of which dispositions do I need to work on before I enter the classroom as a first-year teacher. And okay, just figured out I've got about 6 of those that I really need to be working on, which the way I look at it is I think we need to be working on all of those all the time, because I don't think you get somewhere and then you should just stop. For me, for myself, I always want to do better. I always want to improve. Any area that I can work on, I want to be working on that to do better. I think our students deserve that. And so, with that being said, I feel like that I need to be working on all 10 of these. But there are, the 6 that that I didn't name myself as just knowing that I automatically, am where I need to be on these. And that's the high expectations, the respect for diversity of others, fairness, professional conduct, reflection, and curiosity. And of those, the curiosity and reflection are probably the ones that that I need to work on the most with. Is just kind of like learning from what's been done, looking back, having others observe and look, and getting the feedback from that. And then the curiosity, and just especially, to try and display all of these dispositions so that my students will pick up on these dispositions, and they will have all of this also. Because if I'm not modeling that in the class, then I'm not setting a good example for them, and they are not going to model that. So, this is a very important subject to me, and I'm really enjoying learning all of this and how to improve and better myself as a teacher. It's great, to have this. And then we have the question of what qualities do I think that professional educators should display? Well, of course, we have the dispositions. There's so much that educators need to have. There's just no end to everything. There is so much. But a few of the qualities, just to answer that question, that I think professional educators should display is empathy. I think that's a good one. Patience. Adaptability, most definitely adaptability, because it is ever changing and you have to be able to move with it and to move quickly. Strong communication skills. And, you know, compassion, of course. I'm going to put compassion in there again because I just don't think that we can have enough of that. But these are some of the qualities that I think that will help someone provide an engaging and an inclusive learning environment for their students. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.